wanting to step into an entrepreneurial adventure and not quite sure where to start. This channel interviews the movers and shakers in their niche. Watch the shows on this channel to get more business ideas or connect with the businesses that solve your problem. PSI TV helps businesses increase their visibility to a new audience, giving them a bigger presence by making TV available and affordable. Beyond ads, biz brands can now have a channel presence with their content. We are the Netflix of biz brands. If you have a passionate message, the solution to a problem, a new book or product launch, and want to impact a new and expansive audience, have your audience say, I saw you on TV. PSI TV is proud to bring you another star, this time in the restorative health niche. Mayim Vega is a homeschool mother of 7, a naturopathic herbalist and holistic life coach, formerly a computer scientist and engineer with NASA. She's certified in nutrition and herbalism by GCNM. GCNM. I'm not sure what's GCNM, Mayim.
It's the Global College of Natural Medicine.
So Mayim, tell us, what does a naturopathic herbalist do? Thank you for being my guest today, by the way. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here and to speak to your lovely friends, your followers. So naturopathic herbalism comprises of 2 words, right? We have naturopathy and we have herbalism. So let's talk about herbalism first, okay? So what is herbalism? This is an ancient art, actually, an ancient healing art. And it's as old as basically the first man, Adam, right? Healing properties were embedded by the creator in the creation itself, especially in plants. And the first diet that was given to man was a vegan diet, right? All plant diet. And this is also a method of healing. Before there were doctors, before there were hospitals, before there were pharmaceutical drugs, there were herbalists, and they used God's creation, the plants that he gave us, to heal people. So herbalism is basically founded on the healing principles and properties of these plants, the healing principles of nature that God has given us. And herbalism encompasses diet, nutrition, as well as therapeutic uses of the plants, both internally and also topically. And it involves, a lot of people think that, herbalism is just about teas, herbal teas, but, it involves tinctures, teas, powdered, dried, and fresh raw herbs to support your wonderfully and fearfully made body that God has created for all of us. So herbalism is basically that ancient healing art that mankind has been using for thousands of years. And then we have the other part of it, which is naturopathic, which comes from the word naturopathy. So what is naturopathy? So herbalism understands the limits of the healing properties of plants, and herbalists throughout time have also acknowledged other areas that have to be addressed in order to attain holistic health and healing. So naturopathy covers the broad spectrum of healing arts, which includes cleansing oneself from toxins, whether they be physical toxins that we consume or those toxins that are outside of our body. It includes, addressing toxic relationships and toxic environments. And it also includes, hydrotherapy, homeopathy, orthomolecular nutrition, which is megadose vitamin therapy. And then there's also massage, biofeedback, all these holistic healing modalities. The umbrella of all of them, you could say, is called naturopathy, natural healing. So that's the holistic approach.
Wow. And as we were chatting before, I'm on the page where this is medicine. What we have today of the big pharma and hospitals, that's the alternative. That's, we want to call this alternative. I'm on the page where what you do is medicine that has always existed from the beginning of time. So I'm right there with you, Mayim. So what is the problem that you saw that needed solving, and how did you go about solving it?
Oh, the problem that I needed solving.
No, the
Okay.
problem that you saw that
Oh, the problem that I saw.
solved, and how did you go about solving it?
Okay, so basically, the problem that we solve is that there is a lack of holistic health and healing knowledge in this world. And the Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge, And this lack of knowledge, even though, that Bible verse that I just quoted, even though that's, about biblical principles, but really God is the author of all truth, right? All truth belongs to God. And we perish from not knowing all of that truth. Anything that we're lacking, that we're deceived in, that we have been, misprogrammed in by the programming of this world, that leads us to suffering, to pain. And so there's a great lack of holistic health and healing knowledge in this world. And there's a quote I'd like to read. It was by Thomas Edison, the famous inventor of the light bulb. He was a visionary, and he said this. He said, "The doctor of the future will give no medicine, but will interest his patients in the care of the human frame, in diet, and in the cause and prevention of disease." So he said that back in his day. That was a long time ago. But we have not arrived to our future yet. We don't have that doctor of the future yet who will give no medicine. There's absolutely no doctor like that. Did you know that that word doctor, it comes from the root word that means to teach. So a true doctor should be teaching. For example, if you graduate in college from, history with a PhD and you're called a doctor of history, that means that you have mastered your field so much that you now teach people all about history. You are a master of history. But how many doctors can you go to their office? How many doctors' offices can you go to and the doctor will teach you how to be healthy and heal yourself? And how many doctors teach you about your diet and nutrition and the cause and prevention of disease, as Thomas Edison said? I don't know of any movers and shakers, as you said earlier, and who are truly making a massive impact in the field of holistic health and healing. And I'm talking about people that are being censored from social media, that are being blocked from Google. I'm talking about people whose clinics have been forced out of the United States because the modern medical system and big pharma has such a great hold of our medical and healthcare system. So they were healing too many people. And if they were allowed to flourish, they would topple our medical system as we know it. That's our destiny though. That's our future. But because of that, sometimes they were jailed and sometimes they had to move out of the country. Or sometimes they had
killed.
Yeah, that's right. Some have been killed, forced to go to hiding. That's right. These are the kinds of people.
But hey, we're
right.
Yeah. Well, just put that in quotes.
Suicided.
Yeah,
is the word.
Yeah,
they've been suicided.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, Mayim, I'm right there with you. Wow. Well, I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. So, when people come through your program, do they leave with a credential of any sort?
Yes, they leave not only with a credential of certification, but our normal program also comes with online business development and marketing. So we actually help these healers create their business online. We follow an online model. And the reason for that is because, the modern medical system, they set their people up because everything's connected, right? We have the insurance agencies that work with the hospitals, that work with big pharma, that fund the medical schools. So, it's like the self-sustaining profit system. We're holistic healers. We don't have that, There's no big corporations that benefit from us telling people that they have to live healthy lives and eat organic food and start juicing or start taking certain vitamins and supplements, because these things can't be patented. And that's part of the reason why, holistic healing is so suppressed, is that it can't be controlled and manipulated by these big pharmaceutical corporations. And so that's why we also support our students with online business development and marketing. And from day one, or from the very first assignment that they take, it will be grooming them to understand how to convey their message of health and healing that they are learning to the world, and help them to build that following that it takes to have an online business. And also the online business is a gift, it's a gift from God that we're able to create this website or this program, and it's accessible to the whole entire world. That's so powerful. And so that's why we marry, our naturopathic herbalism as and our health coaching program with this online business development and marketing portion.
Wow. So Mayim, we here at PSI TV, we have an international audience, and you're saying that with you guys being online and training your students to have an online model, you can cater to the online audience. But a lot of our viewers have an entrepreneurial curiosity. Many of them may even have an interest in what you teach. So put your mentor cap on for a moment, which I know you wear all the time. But if someone wanted to walk in the footsteps of coaching, health coaching from a natural perspective, what training, experience, what would they need? What should they pursue?
So if someone wanted to enter into this field, of course, they should pursue learning this field from the masters, as I've said, because there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of books, there's a lot of programs, there's a lot of courses, which I've taken myself, and a lot of them are junk. A lot of them are made by people who are not powerful healers. They're theoretical, they're regurgitating information that they learned, whether from school or from other books or whatever, even if they have a PhD. Like, it doesn't matter, they can be a medical doctor. Medical doctors don't learn about holistic health and healing. That's what medical doctors tell me. And they even talk about it publicly. Many do, not all do. Most won't admit it. But so basically you have to understand, how to filter out the garbage and make sure that you're learning from people who are truly using holistic health and healing powerfully and effectively. Okay. And so that's why, that's, as I said before, that's why we created our school, because we only teach from those powerful healers. So that's one thing, is make sure that you're learning from a good source. Number two, I would say, is to learn the health coaching model, because, unless you're a medical doctor, you're not allowed to prescribe, treat, or diagnose diseases, right? And so the health coaching model is very different from the medical doctor model. And that's why, it's a health coach certification, because that is the model that we deliver the holistic health and healing from naturopathic herbalism, okay? And so health coaching is, for example, an athlete has a coach, right? Who's the star? The star is not the coach, the star is the athlete, right? Whereas with the medical model, the star is the doctor. He's the important one with all the credentials and all the information. And you're just supposed to bow down and just do whatever he says, right? But not so with the health coach. The health coach is there to provide strategies, to give information, to convey his experience in the field, right? And then encourage and support and inspire the true champion, which is the athlete or the person, the client, the student, whatever, whoever you're helping, so that they can heal themselves. Because we as holistic healers understand that healing doesn't come from another person. It comes from within, and of course it comes from above, and it comes from the Creator's, gifts that He has given us in creation. And so learning the health coaching model is also very important. And then the third part, of course, is that, because there's not, as a health coach or naturopathic herbalist, if you want to get a job, there's so few and far between, and they don't pay well. There's jobs out there, but the true power comes when you create your own following, and when you create an online business, an online presence, and an online business. And so those are the three things that we teach. We teach the naturopathic herbalism, health coaching, and then that online business compartment. And I believe those are the three keys to becoming a powerful and effective and profitable holistic healer.
Wow. And I do agree with you on that. So Mayim, is there anything else that you'd like to share?
Yeah. So I'd like to share just my personal story in case it could encourage anyone and why I started doing this. So what happened was, basically I thought I was going to die. I had never even had a headache, before that year. I think it was 2005 or 2006. I'd never even had a headache. And then all of a sudden I was experiencing the worst pain in my whole entire life. I started getting migraines and they just started getting worse and worse and worse every single day. And I took some Tylenol at first, but then it just stopped working. And I knew I could take more and more and more, but I knew that that had side effects, and it really wasn't working anyways. It would just work for a few hours, And then finally the pain got so worse that I couldn't sleep anymore. And it was the middle of the night. And I told my husband, I think I'm going to die. I need you to rush me to the emergency room. I need you to take me to the hospital. And so he took me and we dragged our two babies. I have 7 now, but we took our 2 babies back then and we waited for hours in that hospital room. And we waited for hours and finally they called me up and they asked me a bunch of questions and they took a bunch of tests. And then the nurse finally called me up again and said, "We can't find anything wrong with you." She said, "I'm going to have you talk to the doctor and see what she says, but all your tests came out fine and there doesn't seem to be anything wrong." And so the doctor came and then she said, "Yeah, we can't find anything wrong with you, but we can do a CT scan on you to rule out the possibility of a tumor." I was like, "Okay, well, I guess if that's the only thing you can do, let's do it." I said, "How much does it cost?" And she said, "I think about $2,000. She wasn't really sure, So I said, "Okay, let's do it." And I took the CT scan, which later on in my studies I learned was actually cancer causing. So they're giving me this test that is cancer causing to determine whether or not I have cancer, right? So I took the CT scan and then the doctor talked to me again. So in total, I got about 15 minutes or less with the doctor. So the second time I talked to her was only about 5 minutes. And she said, "Well, good news, there's nothing wrong with you. The CT scan was clear. There's nothing we can do for you. Here's some strong painkillers. Maybe this will help. But, you're just going to have to go home and deal with it." I was so upset, medical doctors, they spend $150,000 to $400,000 total on their education system. And this lady couldn't even tell me anything, just here's some strong painkillers. And I actually ended up spending $4,000 for my hospital stay that night and no answers. $4,000 and no answers. And that was my final straw. And that's when I decided to, take it upon myself to learn naturopathic herbalism and to heal myself and also heal my family, because my family also had unanswered questions, which the doctors provided no answers for. So, after I started learning, I started healing myself, not only of migraines, but all sorts of other issues that I also didn't find any answers with from the medical system. Sciatica, extreme back pain, which, I couldn't even pick up my children because of that. Bleeding gums, and then bleeding issues for one of my children. And they just wanted to keep running tests on him. Well, no, I found a natural way to help my own son of bleeding issues that some medical doctor wanted to just keep running, multiple tests on him for. They couldn't find the answer, just like they couldn't find any answers for me. But I find when I finally did that, I started healing myself, my family, and then others. And then soon I was having even medical doctors coming to me for help and healing. I have some friends who are medical doctors, and they come to me and they ask me for advice on health and healing for themselves and their families. And their family members realized that they were getting information from me, so they would ask them, what does Mayim say about this? What does Mayim say about that? And so this is very powerful stuff. This is This is stuff that I believe everyone should learn in high school or college. And I'm certainly teaching my children to learn these things. We should all be able to take control of our health and healing. We don't have to suffer. You know, there's these breast cancer foundations always trying to raise awareness of cancer and raise money to find the cure for cancer. It's baloney. It's garbage. There are many cures for cancer. The question is, which one will work for you? Which one will help your specific situation and your very individual needs? That's the real question, not, you know, what's the cure? There's many cures. So I'd like to encourage you to, you know, if you are interested in becoming a healer, whether it's for your own personal edification or to take care of your family, or to bring that health and healing knowledge to the world and join in our mission of helping to create our future where, you know, we won't need pharmaceutical corporate drugs anymore, but we will find our healing in God's creation. If you would like to, you know, join in making the future present now, I invite you to enroll in our school. Sure, it's arukah.com, aruka.com. And that comes from a biblical Hebrew word. That word aruka, when it's used in Jeremiah, I think it's 33:6, it says, you know, I will bring health and healing. And that word aruka, it means like holistic or whole. Aruka.com.
There you have it, guys. Thank you, Mayim, for being my guest today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.